Hello everyone, my name is the Chemist77 and welcome to episode 7 of Farming Minecraft. I've just realised how odd that sounds saying 77, episode 7. Anyway, weird number related quirks aside, today we are going to be working on a little bit of a nether hub. It's going to be a slightly shorter episode, as I said last week. I am going to be busy with quite a few different things for the next sort of month or two. So yeah, and yeah. So we're going to be building up another hub today, and we're going to do that on the roof of the nether. And for that, we're going to need a few things first. Now, one of the things I'm going to need is not in there because I organised my ender chest on stream the other day. So I can get some stuff. We don't need that for this episode, but we will in a future episode. I did just a little bit of material gathering for some of the pre-recorded stuff I've got planned. What we are going to need is in our redstone box here, and you might have just seen on the preview, I've got a lot of TNT. So just briefly off camera, I went and got a load of sand and made some TNT with the gunpowder. We're not just going to need TNT, we're going to need a couple other things as well, namely some obsidian, and I'm also going to need a lever and a trapdoor. I'll grab a few trapdoors, because we may lose them. And we'll make a couple of levers as well. Always good to have extra things like that. And so I think, yeah, aside from obsidian, that should be all we need. So I'm going to go grab some obsidian and I'm going to see you in the nether. Oh, actually, one thing I've forgotten, we are going to need some ladders as well. So let's make some of those. Right, I'm going to go get some obsidian and I'll see you in the nether. Okay, obsidian obtained, just there. We've got 15. It's a little bit more than we need, but always good to have extra. And as I was coming down here, I was reminded of something else that we did on a stream, which was build just a little stone generator, like so. And obviously once we have a haste 2 beacon, we can just make pickaxe go brr, so to speak. And so okay, we've got chests here that it all just goes into. Obviously, as always, go into some of them because the blocks move about a bit, and we can't reach the last one without haste 2. Actually, I think it's 4 we can reach. Yeah, 4 we can reach. And we can open these chests because these are stairs. These are actually waterlogged stairs here. And then this trapdoor here is to stop the water from getting out. So I did that on stream. It's nothing massive, but always nice to show the progress that we do outside of YouTube videos in them. If that sort of makes sense, which I guess it doesn't. But anyway, let's head to the nether and let's get up to the bedrock ceiling, which is going to involve a fair amount of digging. Because you see, yeah, I've got these paths out here and stuff, but they're not exactly the safest. This one in particular is just casually hanging out over lava. And yeah, if you've seen my recent YouTube short, you know I have a tendency to just jump into lava. So yeah, we want a nice, safe nether hub, which is why I like to build them on the roof. I always tend to build my nether hubs on the roof. Just because, yeah, it is safe. But I'm thinking like how I'm going to get across there. I'm forgetting I've actually got wings on. So we just need to get up now. And I think I can probably fly up to somewhere like there. And that should be better. One thing I've forgotten to do though is take down the coordinates of the portal through here. And that is very important for making sure nether portals are located properly. So you see up in our left hand, in our little mini HUD display up there, we can see that the coordinate of this block that I'm looking at is -428, 63, which doesn't really matter about the Y value. To an extent it does, but I'm not planning having lots of portals close together here, so it doesn't matter. And then our Z is 309. And if I make a note of the way that I'm facing, which is along east-west, and that will be very important, as you'll see when we get onto the nether roof. So I am going to get up into the bedrock ceiling, or not onto it, but like just underneath it, and yeah, show you how we get onto the nether roof. So I've made a little staircase just up here, and you can see that we have some bedrock. And what we need to get above the bedrock is we need to find a very specific area. And that is where our looking at block has a Y value of 127. Now this is where the Y value does matter. Not in terms of portals though. So we can see my looking at block there, the middle number is 125, so that's not low enough. That one there is 126. That one there, however, is 127. And that is exactly what we're looking for. I'm kind of surprised that I found that so quickly. Normally it'll take a decent amount of digging around before you find one. So as you can see, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers, I think. And each layer you go down, there's 20% less bedrock. So you can see that top one is 100% bedrock. This one's going to be 80%. This one's going to be 40%, 60, and then 20% of the blocks on this Y level, which is 123, are going to be bedrock. So it's quite actually difficult to find a spot like this. So you may need to dig around a little bit more if you want to get on the bedrock ceiling yourself. But I'm just going to tidy this little bit up a bit, just not for any particular reason, just because I want to make this look reasonably presentable. But what we need to get onto the ceiling is, and that's kind of really annoying that that's not quite centered on there. Oh well. But what we need is we need some ladders, which you saw me craft earlier, and we need some ender pearls, which helpfully I have a stack here. Now, it shouldn't take a stack, but yeah, it should just be one, otherwise we may die. So, because we may die, I am just going to pop all my important stuff in my ender chest. And I'm actually also going to make sure I have flint and steel. Yep, I do. It's right there in my tools shulker box. So, bring that with me. Get our ender pearls. Now what you need to do is you need to climb the ladder. And if you climb it using space, and then sort of hold W, what you're trying to do is aim. Some people aim right in that corner. I like to aim slightly above that corner. And you're just going to throw it and then essentially spam spacebar. Because what it does when you ender pearl into this corner block, it's sort of going to put you half in the block. And then you can just sort of jump out of the block. So, here goes nothing. There we go. First try. And so we are now on top of a very empty area of bedrock. Also, what I forgot to do was make a note of what block I was looking at, which is a very important thing. So, I'm just going to quickly check the recording to make sure I get the coordinates of which block it is correct, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have checked the recording, and the block was -2, -26, so it was this one right here. So I'm going to put a torch just to mark that out. Now, you won't need to worry about any mobs spawning up here because bedrock is a non-spawnable block. So, yeah. Now, before I go anywhere near into breaking bedrock, first of all, I'm going to get all my gear back out. like so. I need the obsidian. And we're gonna hop into our chat here and go to our coordinates. So negative 428, 309. Now here is where we get a lovely maths lesson in dividing by 8. So if you don't know, every block travelled in the nether is 8 blocks travelled in the overworld. So, for example, if I move from this torch to this block here, that's just 1 block here, but in the overworld that's a total distance of 8 blocks. Which means that if I divide these coordinates by 8, I should find the exact matching position in the nether to the overworld. So, if I grab my handy dandy calculator here, and do negative 428 divided by 8, that is equal to 50 or negative 53.5 on the x-axis. So we need to be heading this way. I'm going to use the looking at block here, and with this, if you end up with a decimal like I have, with negative 53.5, you want to round up. So always round up. So even if it's like 53.25, you always round up. Don't ask me why, I'm not entirely sure. But you do. So in this case, we're actually going to go to negative 54. 54. So that is going to be this block here. This is negative 54 on the x-axis. Now, we need to take our y coordinate and do the exact same thing. So we have 309 divided by 8 is 38.65, so we'll round that up to 39. So we need to be at positive 39 on the z-axis. And so we just head all the way over here until we get to negative 54, positive 39. And that is this block here. And this is where we're going to build our nether portal. Now, the other thing I noticed, east-west, that was the direction I was facing to go into the portal. So I'm actually going to build a portal like this. This is also where my flexible block placement comes in very handy, so I can place the blocks at diagonals. And now what we need to do is light it. That's what I was after. Like so, and now we have a way back to the overworld, just in case we can't break the bedrock. This is very important, even if you have plenty of TNT, like I have. Always make sure you bring obsidian and a flint and steel to light a portal when you're up here, because you never know, things may just go horrendously wrong, and you don't want to get stranded on top of here. Because if you get stranded on top of here, the only way back to the overworld is through death. So, yeah, always bring stuff for a portal. So now if we go through here, this should take us directly to our spawn portal here. But we're not done in the nether ceiling yet. We've got some bedrock to break. And it's actually going to take us out at this portal here. Because we've got that one, the portal up there, we can take this one down now. Assuming this gas will leave me alone. I actually already got the advancement on stream. And yeah, to get back to the roof, it's just the same thing. Up the ladder, into the corner, pearl. And we're at this block. So, now to the fun part. Breaking something that you're not supposed to break. So, we're going to need some TNT. I'll leave some of it out. Gonna need a lever, a trapdoor, 2 pistons, and that should be it. And I'm gonna make sure everything gets picked up so I don't accidentally blow it up. That is a very real possibility, so either make sure it's in your inventory or place it a significant number of blocks away. So, first things first, we're going to place a... What is that? That's an obsidian block right there. Excuse me, I'm recording this very late on a Sunday evening. So yeah. Then we're going to do a trapdoor just there. We need another block on top of it there. Doesn't really matter what it is. We're going to place a lever there. Then where we have our torch here, we need a piston. And then on top of this block, we need a TNT. Now, a lot of people have a TNT on top of this piston block too. Personally, I found you don't need it. So I don't use it. Now, the other important thing to note is you're going to need some way of placing blocks very, very quickly. Now, because I use the tweakery mod, I have a function that you can see above my hotbar there is fast right click. And it will, if I pull up the menu here, that's MiniHUD menu. There you go, if I pull up the menu here, and search in here, fast left and right click count. So this is our right click count, and what this says here, it's the number of clicks to do per game tick. So basically what this is a really fast semi-auto clicker, because I still have to click and hold down the button. But whilst I'm holding down the button, it will click this many times per tick. Now technically I probably could do this down to 1. It's just on 64 for some reason. I'm just going to leave it there. If you don't have this mod installed, the way to do this is if you go into options, into controls and keybinds, what you want to do is bind your use/place item to any sort of keyboard button. So for example, P. And that will essentially do the same thing. If you hold down the keyboard button, it will basically spam the use function. Because I have my fast click there, I'm just going to use that. So first thing you want to do is get under this trapdoor. Now I actually find it easier if you line yourself up where the piston meets the obsidian block here. You can actually close the trapdoor and it will keep you in swim mode. Which looks very, very weird. But yeah, technically I'm under this like 2 pixels width of trapdoor, which is why I'm still in swim mode. You can see if I go even just a fraction out, it sets me back up again. So we go down, we push forward, and we do that. Now, what I'm about to do is going to happen very quickly. So I'm going to explain it in FreeCam first, and then I'm going to do it, and hopefully it'll work. So I'm going to turn on this lever. That's going to extend this piston and light that TNT. I'm then going to turn on my fast right click, make sure I've got this piston in my hand, and then I'm going to place this piston sort of upside down where this piston is. And I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure what happens here with what the game does, but it's to do, I think it's to do with the fact that an extended piston head retracting will destroy a block that it's inside. And so it does a weird thing that when the TNT explodes, the piston gets destroyed. You simultaneously place the piston that's in your hand. I think because of the lever power, it then like powers it, but it's also getting blown up. So it depowers it. It's all very confusing. And yeah, I don't fully understand it, so don't quote me on that, on how it's worked, but yeah. Basically, the game does some weird stuff with piston heads and explosions and things. Or if you prefer the simple explanation, it's magic. It's a bit video game coding magic. The reason I have to toggle my fast click on after I turn the lever on as well is that fast clicking this makes the piston and the TNT go a bit weird. Also, I think most of the time will actually finish in the off state. and it needs to be in on state. If you're using the keyboard bind trick, you don't need to worry about that. You just tap it and then you hold it for the piston. But because I'm using this fast click, I need to make sure it's off first of all and then turn it on. So, let's try this. Do that on. That hasn't worked. Why has that not worked? Why has that not worked? Oh, I know why that's not worked. I'm being really stupid. I've not done this in a while. The TNT goes there. That's why it's not worked. Yeah, some people do this with the TNT there and there. I just use the TNT there. Take 2. So lever, fast click, hold down placing there. And yeah. So I believe the piston should face up at the end. So you can see there that one didn't work, unfortunately. So we just reset. And I think technically this can be an obsidian block as well, but I like to use contrasting blocks so I can try and place it as close to this as possible. What we're trying to do is place this piston upside down, but then it sort of gets flipped around for some reason. Again, I'm not entirely sure on the mechanics of this. Oh, I've still got my fast click on. That is the other thing you want to make sure you turn your fast click off after it's blown up. So let's try again. I'm going to aim right there, hold down right click, and that looks good. You see the piston is facing what would appear to be the wrong way up. And if we break it, the bedrock underneath is broken. And I can now just hop up and down the bedrock for this. Put a couple torches there because it's fun. And I don't actually have enough ladders to put one there. I can still like just hop out. I could actually put a trapdoor there. Oops, still got that on. No, because if you didn't know, trapdoors can sort of act like ladders. Very weird. But anyway, I am now going to mark this out. That took like nowhere near as much TNT as I thought it would. We got it on our second try of doing it correctly. Obviously, we had one small mistake where I had the TNT in the wrong place. That's breaking bedrock. And now what we need to do is get the rest of these portals set up. So, obviously we've got this one here that goes to spawn. I've run away from the nether for some reason. We now need to... So that doesn't go to spawn, that goes to our base. We now need the portal that goes to spawn. So, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to hop down here. I'm going to eat because I'm low on health. If you are doing TNT as well, it's usually a good idea to have some blast protection armor on. So we're just going to fly down here. We're going to hop through here. Real quick, I've got plenty of obsidian on me. We're going to do the exact same thing that we did at our base with the coordinates. So we're going to put down negative 133, 44, and this is north-south. And this should take us through to... somewhere completely different. That's not right. I went to positive 17, didn't I? Yes, I did, and it should be negative 17. Yeah. Everybody makes this mistake at some point. I have made this mistake at many points, granted, but anywho, so we actually want to go to negative 17.6, and now we should end up at our... I can hear villagers. Ta-da! I'm actually going to sleep as well. And so that's that. Now the last portal I need to link up is the portal that I prepared at the end portal. So I'm going to fly over there and we'll note the coordinates. I just have to remember which way it was. So, as you can see, I've got a portal here and it's already lit. Now I haven't gone through this portal yet, so there is no portal on the nether side. And I can actually prove this by throwing a block at it and it goes straight through. So normally if there was a portal generated on the other side, that entity there would go through. But because there is no portal the other side, it doesn't. So I can pick that up. Now it's very important that I don't go through this because what I can do is place a portal on the nether roof and I don't have to worry about destroying portals and such. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to note down this coordinate here, which is negative 260. Negative 262. And make sure to remember that's negative. And then 1807. And we are facing east-west. And now we can go through this. And it should bring us out here at the end portal. It's very nice. So one last thing we're going to do is just slab the top of my nether portals. This is just to make sure things don't spawn. This is just the last one. I've already slabbed the ones over there. You can just about see. And so this is the end portal. And you can see this is much less distance. This is what I was saying about earlier with 1 block in the nether being 8 blocks in the overworld. Because this right here is our base. And that over there is spawn. So it's where the trading hall and the iron farm is. And maybe a few other things, who knows. Maybe we'll build a cactus farm up at some point. Yeah. That is the nether hub done. But yeah, that'll about do it for today. We've got not really lots done today, just getting some nether portals set up, and in the future when we're building farms further away, this is just going to be really useful for getting around. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video today, and I will see you next week. Bye!